Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an instant classic for you. Right in front of you is a 2015 Chevy Corvette Stingray. Now, are known for being one of these sports cars which makes you feel the road and they go fast, but this one is a little bit special. What's so special about this one? First of all, for starters, this thing is just wrapped in luxury, okay? Like you get the leather seats, you get the leather steering, you get the two screens inside for your speedometer as well as for your media. And if that wasn't enough, you get a heads up display. Okay, so just these features turn this car completely apart from all of its predecessors. Now, the next part that turns makes this a Corvette is it's packed with a 6.2 liter supercharged engine that is mated with a 8-speed automatic. So you're getting 650 horsepower from the factory in this vehicle, and all of that is going into the rear wheels. Now, you can get this tuned as well and get that power up to about 750 horsepower, but in the same token, I doubt that you would want to interrupt the stock performance because that would come up hard with avoiding the warranty and everything like that. But overall, with 650 horsepower, you're going to be one of the fastest people on the road with this vehicle. Now, some of the things that this car has, or specifically for this, is that it has Magna-Ride suspension, so that it is constantly listening to the road and adjusting the dampening speed. So you're getting the best performance in your ride, as well as you're getting the best performance with this transmission because this is a rev matching transmission, so you never feel a delay when the gear is being changed, as well as the final part, maintenance cost. What will this car cost you to keep, and in order to maintain it, what will it be costing? The good news in this part is that this is a GM product, which means that that engine that they're using, which is the 6.2 liter V8, has been proven over the past decade to be very reliable. Since 2007, they have been using the 6.2 liter engine in their starting with their Cadillac Escalades as well as their Sierra Denali's. Those are both truck platforms. So that means that when you're getting this vehicle, you're getting it with full reliability, proven reliability, as well as they have equipped it with a supercharger, which you can actually purchase for your Cadillac Escalade and the Sierra Denali's to get your speed, get your horsepower up to about 570. But since they have inherently wanting to upgrade this for the Corvette, this thing is packed with 650 horsepower. And again, all of that is going to the rear wheels. So you're getting the full sports car experience. Now, some of the things that turn this vehicle into a very unique car is the fact that this whole roof comes off. One of my first thoughts when I looked at this roof was, hey, where's the sunroof? I don't see any of it. But that part was changed as soon as I realized that this roof can actually come off and you can put that into the trunk and away you go. After you're done, you can just put it back on safely, close the windows, and you're good to go. So, given that information, let's talk some numbers. We have this thing is going on sale for about 60,000 and it has about 20,000 kilometers on it. Um, Brand new, this thing would have cost you about 70,000 Canadian. And knowing that fact, 2015, today's 2022, we have about 7 years since this car was brand new. It has lost about $10,000 in value. That is nothing compared to what you find in other vehicles that can cost you a lot more, and the rate of value depreciation is a lot more, a lot higher for any of the European cars. This one, you're about 70,000 brand new right now, going for about 60 to $65,000. You have not lost any of that value. So let's dig deep into the vehicle, see the exterior, go into the interior, and let's do a test drive after and see how it feels. Now this front grille is pretty bone dry. Basically, all you get is the style and no technology packed in it. So you're not getting any parking sensors, you're not getting any camera at the front, you're not getting anything related to any electronics at this front bumper. But overall, this is one of my favorite front bumpers because it is one of the most aggressive looking. You have the nice ventilation, you have the nice scopes coming out of it, and you get the amazing Corvette logo. And if that wasn't enough, you get these amazing headlights over here. So you get the LEDs and the projectors as well as these LED ambers on the side. So no, not much technology, but at the same time looks really sexy. Side profile, my favorite part on the side profile is of course these rims, this scope, and that logo over there. So three of these features that I really admire on this vehicle. I think GM has done a very spectacular job in being super simple with this vehicle. Again, there's no fancy sensors on the side. All you are presented with are these nice looking Corvette rims. We have a nice Stingray looking fin on the side, as well as we have a Stingray logo over there. So very nice and simple, keeping it in check. You're not gonna be worried about breaking down any sensors or anything like that. So it does the job perfectly. One thing that you might notice on the side profile are these brakes. Nothing cross-drilled or anything like that or slotted, except you do get the Corvette logo on the caliper. So that's a really nice feature. These are Brembo brakes, so you're gonna be safe on the sense that if these are good brakes or not. But this is a really nice touch. You get the Corvette logo on the calipers. So that is really nice. Plus, one other thing that I do like with these rotors is that as you're braking, you're not going to feel any of that grinding that you feel with the big slotted rotors. So this is not a bad feature. Moving on to the rear bumper of this vehicle, I just cannot emphasize enough of how amazing these look in real life. Okay, they might look like just four exhaust pipes coming out in that video, but at the same time, when you're up front and close to them, you really feel this amazing vehicle just by looking at the exhaust. And of course, we know Corvette has been known for having their aggressive look on the exhaust tailpipes, and this vehicle is no different. This one has these amazing aggressive looking exhaust pipes, and they're all functional. They're not just for show. So this V8 does require these four exhaust tailpipes, and Corvette is delivering that. GM has made sure that everyone knows that this thing is packing some heat. So your exhaust pipes are super aggressive. So good job on that, GM. This is a great effort on that part. Another thing that I really like in terms of that ventilation, we see that these ventilation holes are actually real. I mean, they're pretty small, but they're real. So you do get that extra ventilation. But of course, we know that Corvette is known for keeping those two circles for the brake lights. This is no different. They have turned those into a little bit of a rectangle, but this is just as sexy as ever. So guys, I'm gonna demonstrate how to take this roof off. Of course, you're just gonna have to take this off like that. And it is super light. Honestly, this is just super light. So all you have to do is just put this in the trunk, and you open the trunk from that side, and that's it. Now let's dive into the interior. One of the most interesting aspects of the getting inside is this whole, there's no handle. So how are you gonna get in? Turns out that there is a touch sensor right inside, which you just basically touch and it just opens up. So there you go. And similarly, when you're inside the vehicle, all you have to do is press this button. So you can probably hear that. As soon as you press that button, it unlocks that door. Furthermore, the door trim itself, as I mentioned before, everything is nicely wrapped. This is all leatherette, smooth texture, no plastic being used over here. So you guys can see everything feels nice. Even this plastic where they could have used some plastic, it's still wrapped with the nice texture. So that's a good item over there. Of course, door switches, window switch and the door switch right there. You have extremely maneuverable seat over here. Okay, so this is a nine-way speed a seat that can be adjusted. And of course, we can see that it is super close to the ground. So keeping that feel of being close to the road for your passenger as well. Now, in the passenger side, we also get this nice little screen to control the climate for the passengers. So you get the climate control as well. You get the climate control right here, as well as the seat heating and cooling right over here. So very interesting for your passenger. They don't have to move into the driver's seat, driver's side, and mess around with the climate control. So they can just do it right from here. Other than this, for the passengers, this is basically it. You get nothing else. So, very nice looking, but this is very simple. Let's dive into the driver's side and see what's that all about. Okay, guys, so for the roof, as I mentioned, this is a removable roof. All you basically have to do is unhook the rear hook as well as these two hooks over here. So all you have to do is just take these off, and basically you are good to go with this roof. So now you can just take it out, take it all off like this, and then store that in the trunk like that. All right, guys, let's look at the interior of this vehicle as the driver's side and see what this technology inside of it is. Okay, this is the best part. So let me start up the car for you so you can really see these features. You have the multi um, color LCD screen over here that shows the RPM. You have an analog speedometer over here. You have your a gas gauge as well as the oil temperature. Basic stuff, but what's different is this right over here. I take a look at this, guys. This is just spectacular. This heads-up display is just amazing, and you can control that from this button over here. So you can adjust the heads-up display like this. So if it's in your view or not, you can move it up or down. This is just spectacular. I just love this. You can change the thing to show speedometer and your gear. You can change it to showing you the RPM. Like this is, let me just zoom in and show you guys really. So that's the RPM. This is just the regular. Then you have the RPM in a round, and then you just have the speedometer only, and then you have the RPM again. So you get a lot of options in this thing. So this is spectacular, guys. Like I am super impressed with this. GM has done a great job on making this vehicle top notch and luxury and technology packed. Again, I cannot emphasize enough on this. This was something missing for a long time, and now they have it. And not only that they have this, they actually have a LCD screen in the middle to make sure that if there's any, if in the future there's software upgrades or anything like that, that screen will adapt to it. So this is amazing, and this is perfect. Let's do a test drive and see how this car holds up, and we will try out all of these drive modes. Of course, we know there's a track mode, so I'll zoom into this. There's a track mode, there's a sports mode, and track sport, touring, eco, and weather. So they kind of are self-explanatory, but eco, of course, will save you gas. Weather will make sure that the car is not super aggressive, so it doesn't slide around. We have the tour package after that. Well, this is all part of the same package, but we have touring, and then we have which would be great for highway. And then we also have sports, and then we have track. So both sports and track are going to be very similar, of course. And then we also have a traction control button that you can press to turn off the traction control. So very basic stuff on the interior that as you would expect. Climate control buttons are all over here. Ventilated and heated seat for the driver, ventilated and heated seat for the passenger. They can select from here or they can select from here. So they get that option on both sides. We have the climate control as well as we have the fan control over here. In terms of the storage, you basically get this glove compartment right over here. That's one. You have a cup holder slash generic storage. You also get some storage in the passenger pocket as well as on the driver side pocket. So you have less space in the driver side as compared to the, I guess it's pretty much the same. Um, and then you have this trunk. So you can see the roof is in the trunk, and you can fit a few golf clubs and suitcases, a couple of small suitcases, and a big golf bag. That's pretty much all you can carry in this. I mean, it is a sports car after all, so you're not going to be getting that luxury of storing so many things. But this is definitely a nice touch. You get to keep your valuables in the back and no one can really tell if there's anything in the back. So that's great. That's awesome. All right, so let's dig into the hood of this vehicle. Of course, we need to open it up from here, find that lever, and this is actually the best part. This hood opens on the flip side. So the hood used to open up like this, but this one opens up like this. So pretty interesting. Um, Take a look at this. Here's some evidence for the air intake working. So that this scope is directly connected to this. So all of the air is getting sucked in right from here. So this is very beautiful, very, very amazing. It's just spectacular. Now, if you wanted to dig deep a little bit into this, that you guys can see it's actually a radiator inside, right? Look at that. That's actually a radiator right there, that little bit fins you see. So Corvette is actually using this vent to cool that radiator down, and then that air is coming out back into this hood over there. So it's actually creating a full circle of air like that. I hope that made sense, but basically you're getting a cycle of air, so keeping things cooler in a better way. This is all about the cooling, so that's great. Now, this is the beauty. This is the 6.2 liter V8 supercharged that is producing all of the 650 horsepower. So, given that situation, you can't help but notice that there's so much working space over here. Guys, this is just an awesome vehicle because your mechanic is not going to be angry with you and charging you a ton of money to fix small things. First of all, those things will not break in this vehicle because this is one of those GM products that is built on reliability. Of course, it's a sports car, so we're always going to have those reliability issues, but we can say for sure that GM has done a good job in making sure that the reliability is good. So backing out this vehicle is a lot of fun, guys. You have a backup camera, and that's basically all you need in my day and age. Mostly we're looking at the side mirrors and making sure that everything is good to go, but this rear view camera definitely helps. So it's helping me back out properly. One thing I would have liked is a little bit better quality on this backup camera, but it is what it is. So sometimes the main difference between these sports cars is use the manufacturer's choice of using between the turbocharger or a supercharger. This one is equipped with the supercharger. Most of the European and Japanese sports cars are mostly equipped with turbochargers. The difference you're gonna feel, there's a lot of technical differences. A supercharger gives you the low end torque, and the turbocharger will give you a higher RPM torque. In this, the basic difference in the supercharger you feel is really no difference. What I mean by that is that you get a smooth power coming from the low RPM coming into the higher RPM, whereas in the turbocharger, you're gonna get regular acceleration in the low RPM, but then you all of a sudden feel a kick, giving that when the turbo starts to spool and throws more air into the engine. So those are the basic differences in this. And they're both trying to achieve the same thing: more power and more torque. Supercharger gives it at a lower RPM. Turbocharger gives it at a higher RPM. So those are the main differences. Turn on the seat heater for you. I just turned it on. No, I'm good. You can turn it off. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna get on this main road and see what the performance is in the sport mode. I will put the transmission into a manual. So three, two, one. Very nice and smooth power in the sport mode. You get that there's no turbo lag. That's the best part in this. Turbo lag is the one where you feel that you get less power, but now you have more power. In this, you have smooth power all throughout. So that's a great feature in this. I like that supercharger. Of course, I love the 6.2 liter. It does feel like that regular 6.2 liter, but a little bit more kick to it. Yeah, it's and I'm not I'm smelling a little bit of gasoline, so that could be that the supercharger working. But and one thing I wish it had is when you change the gears, you hear that blow off valve in the turbocharger engines. This does not have that, so a little bit of a disappointment there because every time you change the gear, it's a big deal. And now in this one, it doesn't feel like that big of a deal because it's just kind of the way it is. So, so that was 0 to 110 in less than 3 seconds, pretty much. Whether it was 3 seconds or not, it felt super fast, and that's all that matters. This thing is just spectacular in its power. I am just in love with this car because it's got that smooth power delivery, and the bumps on the road feel like nothing. This is awesome. You're not going to be feeling any kind of stiffness because you're like, oh, I'm in a sports car. No, that time is over. You're feeling a smooth ride, The suspension is amazing and the power is smooth. The braking doesn't feel like you're putting in any effort to turn on the brakes. And the heads up display, wow, it's just gorgeous. And according to your style, let's see, let me show you guys something. According to your style, you guys can change the heads up display. You guys can see that over there. The heads up display is just spectacular and it's showing me all of the RPMs right now. But scraping is the only biggest concern for me. You need to be super careful with going over bumps because you're just gonna be scraping the bottom end. So there you have it, guys. Basically, we have the 2015 Corvette Stingray right behind me, and we've just done a full review on it. And to be honest with you guys, I am absolutely in love with this car. This is a teenager dream come true for me. I drove it and everything that I wanted my Escalade to perform like, this is how this one performs. So I highly recommend it. With $60,000, you cannot go wrong. You're getting that top-notch engine with the power, as well as you're getting the nice ride. And what I mean by the nice ride is that the bumps don't bother me on the road, and I that was a rough road. So I highly recommend this to you guys. Please check it out and make a decision on the Corvette Stingray. I am just in love with this. Guys, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like my video. If you like this review, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, please let me know what I can do to improve this. And of course, you guys know I'm trying to bring you guys used car vehicles value, and showing you guys the fact that how older cars are keeping up its value, and there's no need to go rushing to the dealership and buying a brand new vehicle.